DSOs, media colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I usually like to hear the response to the good morning.
Yeah, I have to object.
Now, on behalf of the Parliament of Ghana and the Star Ghana Foundation, I warmly welcome you to the 2026 Speakers Breakfast Forum. Well, this morning's theme, parliamentary decentralization, taking Parliament closer to the people, is not just a policy conversation. Of course, it's a democratic commitment. We like to say that because democracy cannot live only in Accra. It must breathe in Bolgatanga, debate in Wo, deliberate in Tamale, and be felt in every district across Ghana. So once again, you're welcome. A few housekeeping rules so that we get going. We are the Palms by Eagle, and it's one of the safe environments you can find in Ghana. We have two main exits, to my left and to my right. And once you walk out the door to my right, there are a number of washrooms lined up just for you. I must also say that we have medical personnel and members of the Ghana Ambulance Service also on standby should you need their help. I am Emetha Apau, and it's such an honor to stay at first for this morning. Thank you once again for your presence. Now, to ground our deliberations in divine wisdom, may I respectfully invite the Director, Governance, Justice and Peace, National Catholic Bishops' Conference, and Chaplain to Parliament, Reverend Father Michael Kweku, to lead us in the opening prayer. We welcome him, please.
May I humbly ask you to be upstanding for prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Immortal, invisible, God only wise, in light, in accessible, hid from our eyes, most blessed, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, thy great name we praise. Most blessed, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, thy great name we praise. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the gift of today and the gift of our lives. We give thanks for the gift of our country, Ghana. We give thanks for the Parliament of Ghana with its speaker and members. We give thanks for this forum which comes to deliberate how to bring Parliament closer to the people of this nation. We ask for the guidance of your Spirit, that this gathering may deliberate the good of our people and the glory of your name. When this is over, may your nation be prosperous, your people wise, and your people live in peace. We make our prayer through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, for he lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, and you are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Kweku. That's the Chaplain to Parliament. I'd like to at this point to do a few acknowledgements, and I'll start from the high table. And first, I'd like to introduce to you the Clerk to Parliament, Mr. Ebenezer Ahumah-Jethro. Let's welcome him with a round of applause, please. And then we also have up here the Deputy Majority Leader and MP for Cape Coast South, Honorable George Ricketts Hagan. We also have the Minority Leader and MP for Efutu, Osahin Alexander Apwenyo Marking. We have the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. We have the Executive Director of Star Ghana, our key partners for today, Mr. Ibrahim Tanko Alhaji. And of course, the man who has summoned us all here today, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbing. I thought I was going to hear yeah today since we have MPs in the house. Well, at this point, thank you. At this point, I'd like to take our first remarks to be delivered by the steady institutional hand that ensures Parliament runs, whether cameras are present or not. Please join me in welcoming the Clerk to Parliament, Mr. Ebenezer Ahoma Gietro.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minority Leader, Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Minister for Local Government, Your Excellencies, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our revered traditional rulers and religious leaders, Nime, Name, my brother Tanko, representatives of Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies, Deputy Clerks to Parliament, Honorable Assembly members here present, representatives of civil society organizations, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both an honor and a privilege on behalf of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana and the Parliamentary Service to welcome you all to this Speakers' Breakfast Forum, convened under the distinguished leadership of the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. I wish to sincerely thank you for making time to join us this morning and for your continued interest in strengthening the democratic governance of our dear nation through active participation in the work of Parliament. This forum forms part of Parliament's broader effort to deepen public engagement, promote inclusivity, and reaffirm its constitutional role as the representative body of the good people of Ghana. Your presence here today, traditional leaders, assembly members, civil society representatives, public officials, members of the media, and citizens demonstrate a shared recognition that democracy thrives when it is participatory. When it is participatory, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of the people. The theme for today's engagement, parliamentary decentralization, taking Parliament closer to the people, speaks directly to a fundamental democratic principle that Parliament cannot be effective if it is perceived as distant from the very people whose interest it exists to represent. Parliamentary decentralization, therefore, is about ensuring that the work, influence, processes and presence of Parliament extends beyond the presence of Parliament House into communities across the country. Although this is the first time the concept of parliamentary decentralization is being formally articulated in this manner, Parliament has over the years pursued various initiatives aimed at enhancing accessibility and citizens' engagement. Among these was the establishment of the Parliamentary Resource Center, beginning with the Western region, with the intention of expanding to all regional capitals. These centers were conceived as access points for key parliamentary documents, such as Hansards, bills, committee reports, and acts of parliament. They were also intended to serve as platforms for civic education and research support for students, researchers, civil society organizations, and local governance actors. Subsequently, there were efforts to integrate this vision into a broader regional parliamentary library system with the objective of embedding parliamentary research and information within regional library systems, thereby decentralizing legislative research and enhancing public access. These initiatives, though they have since stalled, were not failures of intent. Rather, their implementation was constrained by limitation in funding, human resource capacity, logistical and technological challenges, as well as sustainability concerns. Nonetheless, they provide valuable institutional lessons, reminding us that meaningful decentralization must be thoughtfully conceived, adequately resourced, technologically enabled, and administratively sustainable. Right, Honorable Speaker, today's forum presents an important opportunity for us to reflect candidly on these lessons and to consider practical, innovative, and sustainable pathways towards genuine parliamentary decentralization. Any framework that emerges must be constitutionally sound, administratively viable, fiscally responsible, and responsive to stakeholder expectations. It must strengthen rather than fragment the institutional coherence of Parliament while expanding its accessibility and relevance to the Ghanaian people. As Clerk to Parliament, I wish to affirm the unwavering commitment of the Parliamentary Service to supporting reforms that enhance Parliament's efficiency, viability, and public engagement. Our role is to provide the institutional backbone that enables Parliament to fulfill its legislative oversight and representational responsibilities effectively, while remaining firmly anchored in the confidence and trust of the Ghanaian people. I wish to encourage all distinguished participants to engage in open, constructive, and forward-looking deliberations this morning. Your insights and perspectives will be invaluable in shaping a parliament that serves as a model of decentralization, one that is pragmatic, inclusive, accessible, responsive, and enduring. May our discussions today move us closer to a parliament that is not only constitutionally empowered, but also adequately represents the citizen it serves. Ultimately, We hope that we'll be able, as we cross-fertilize ideas, to expand the frontiers of democracy and secure for ourselves and posterity the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunities, and prosperity for all. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Should do it once again for him because he makes things happen. I'd like to do a few more acknowledgements. We have the Majority Chief Whip, an MP for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dapamakbo. A round of applause for him, please. We have the Kratchi West MP, Helen Ajuan Toso, with us as well. We have the Whole West MP, Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra, in our midst. I'd like to also acknowledge a few of our development partners also with us. We have the UNDP in our midst. We have the British High Commission here. We have MTN Ghana, Adjuaria Face here with us. The IPR President, Esther Koba, is here in our midst as well. A round of applause for her. We have the NCC's Kathleen Adi with us as well. We have our security agencies, and in no particular order, we have the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Fire Service, the Ghana Prison Service, the Ghana Immigration Service. A round of applause for them, please. And of course, we cannot talk local governance without acknowledging Professor Kwamina Ahoy, a former minister for local government and a local government expert. Please, we would like to see you, Prof. Thank you so much. We also have the former finance minister in our midst, Mr. Kwame Pepra. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to also acknowledge our Queen Mothers in no particular order. Please permit me to welcome Manye Na Afole Koche the second, Teshi Odai Techewe. Manyena Adudromo Zogbeme Zegbli. Manyena Bukai Asantua the first, Klagong. We also have a few more Queen Mothers in our midst. Manye Na Bedu Adiagba the first, Abelengpe Jowulu, Manye. Manye Na Dinswa Efriye the second, Manyekra Manyera Okaiman. Forgive me. Not that.
Around anti-corruption and constitutional development. Mr. Speaker, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this year's forum was critically chosen against the background of a number of developments in the national space. I think let me start with the Afrobarometer readings, the round 10 2024, whose findings on the questions of trust reveal a growing skepticism, citizen skepticism for democratic institutions like Parliament, although many expressed confidence in elections and electoral freedom. Particularly for Parliament, the findings reveal that one, many citizens feel disconnected from parliamentary processes, and two, knowledge of parliamentary functions is uneven, especially in rural areas. The second issue that framed the choice of theme for this year's forum is the ongoing discussions around constitutional reforms and the possibility of this forum generating inputs that would help to shape the final outcomes, particularly as it relates to Parliament. And of course, the third is based on the experiences and lessons of Parliament itself since the advent of democratic governance in 1992. So we have framed this around how we can take Parliament closer to the people of this country. We hope that the conversations will throw up not just solutions, but also inputs that would inform further convenings. We do know that the topic itself, or the theme, is quite complex and doesn't lend itself very easily to simple, ready-made answers. Questions around what do we mean when we talk of parliamentary decentralization? Questions around the constitutional and other implications of decentralizing parliament. Questions around the role of institutions such as the National Commission for Civic Education in bringing parliament closer to the people. Questions around IT and the role that it can play in bringing parliament closer to the people. These and others are critical themes or critical issues that I hope that we would be able to discuss and at the end of the day come up with recommendations that will shape, guide, and strengthen our democratic governance moving forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for collaborating, accepting our offer to collaborate with you, and thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for coming. God bless our homeland. Thank you.
Once again, let's hear it for Star Ghana Foundation. We are making things happen and we are grateful. Thank you so much, Alhaji Ibrahim Tanko, once again. A number of other institutions that I would like to acknowledge in no particular order. The Catholic Bishops' Conference, thank you so much for being here. We have the Christian Council, we have the Muslim Council, the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, we have the NALAC Accra Secretariat, the Local Government Service, MMDCEs and presiding officers who are here present, the regional coordinating councils here present. Speaker, everybody wants to catch your eye, so we would have to acknowledge them as well. We have our CSOs also here. We have CLOCSAC, we have student leadership present. The GJA is ably present here as well. We have the Ghana Bar Association. We have leadership of the Local Government Committee and Clerk. We have Planning Committee members. We have NUCS, Imani Africa, Institute of Public Relations Ghana, Information Services Department. We have the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana. We have the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. We have the Electoral Commission present. We have the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Institute of Economic Affairs, and many more. We also have in our midst the Deputy Clerk, Legislative Management Services, Mrs. Camila Puaman. Are you here? If we can see you, please. I missed there. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Mr. Puaman, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Let's hear it for him once again, please. We have Dr. Mrs. Gloria Saku Kumeu, the Deputy Clerk, Information Management Services. At least I got yours right, right? Okay. We have Honorable Mavis Kuku Abisu, MP Ahanta West. Thank you. We have Honorable Phyllis Nakoyo Kuno, MP Ewutu Senya East. We have Honorable Maxwell Kwame Lukuto, MP South Tong. We have Honorable Rita Na Odelesoa, MP Lada Dekotopong, is a Deputy Minister, Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And of course, I'd like to single out for mention the Chief Director, Ministry of Local Government, Mr. Amin. Thank you so much for your support. Can we see you, please? Okay, thank you so much. At this point, it is my singular honor to invite upstage the Minority Leader, MP for Ifutu, Osahin Alexander Afenyo-Marking, for his remarks.
MFA decided to pronounce my name the proper and law way. Afenyo, not Afenyo. Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, colleagues in leadership, colleague members of Parliament, Clerk to Parliament, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Executive Director, Star Ghana, Honorable MMDCs here present, our revered traditional rulers and religious leaders here present, members of Parliamentary Service Management, members of the academia, our security chiefs here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen of the press. It is a distinct honor and privilege to have this opportunity to address you at this gathering of Speakers Forum on the theme, decentralization, taking Parliament to the people. Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for this vision, your leadership in convening this platform year after year. This forum has evolved into a beacon of inclusive national dialogue, bridging the gap between our institutions of governance and the citizens we serve. Ghana stands at a pivotal moment in its democratic journey. Our nation is actively reflecting on constitutional reforms, and there is a growing consensus that governance must be more participatory, transparent, and responsive. Parliament occupies a central position in this democratic architecture. It is the institution where laws are made, where the executive is held accountable, and where the voices of over 30 million Ghanaians are represented. In Ghana, decentralization has often been overly focused on the executive branch. However, the 1992 Constitution clearly states that bringing Parliament closer to the people is essential. Article 35(6)(d) instructs the state to make democracy a reality by decentralizing administrative and financial authority. Yet, more than 30 years into the Fourth Republic, we still face a concerning imbalance. Our Fourth Republic has demonstrated commitment to decentralization, particularly within the executive branch. Metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies have expanded governance structures across the country. The judiciary has also improved access to justice through establishment of courts in various parts of our country. However, Parliament remains largely centralized in Accra. Articles 240, 245, and 252 of the 1992 Constitution provide for Parliament as the creator, the regulator, and above all, the financier of the decentralized system. Despite this constitutional mandate, Parliament's institutional presence in the districts it oversees remains limited. This imbalance has implications for accountability and trust. When citizen engagement with Parliament occurs primarily through informal channels, oversight becomes episodic rather than continuous. A democracy cannot be fully decentralized if its legislature remains physically and institutionally distant from the people. Parliamentary decentralization is therefore about structural reform that embeds Parliament within the communities whose lives its laws affect. Right Honorable Speaker, for many Ghanaians, members of Parliament represent the most accessible phase of government. Research by Friede and Myers in 2019 indicates that in some constituencies, between 40 and 73% of citizens identify their MPs as their primary point of contact for addressing community challenges. This reality places significant strain on MPs, who must balance legislative responsibilities with intense local expectation. In the absence of professionally structured constituency parliamentary offices, engagement often takes place in informal settings such as funerals, social gatherings, or party offices. And a lot of times, in the MP's private residence. While MPs strive to meet these expectations, the arrangement risks blurring constitutional rules and fostering unrealistic demands. Parliamentary decentralization, therefore, provides an opportunity to clarify institutional responsibility, create neutral engagement platforms, and protect the integrity of the legislative function. It enables citizens to interact with Parliament in a structured, professional, and inclusive manner. Ghana is not alone in pursuing legislative reform. Democracies such as Finland and Switzerland have adopted models that combine physical constituency engagement with digital participation platforms. Parliamentary committees regularly conduct field visits and structured consultations that inform legislative priorities. Institutions such as the Inter-Parliamentary Union and the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association emphasize that modern legislatures must be accessible, participatory, and transparent. This centralization therefore requires professional staffing, digital innovation, civic education, and sustained financial commitment. Ghana possesses the constitutional framework necessary for such reform. What is required is now a structured implementation anchored in political will. Taking Parliament to the people requires a deliberate reform that makes legislative work visible, accessible, and responsive. Mr. Speaker, when we thoughtfully implement what we need to do, parliamentary decentralization offers substantial benefits. It strengthens oversight by enabling committees to engage directly with projects and stakeholders at the local level. It enhances non-partisan citizen engagement by providing neutral spaces where constituents can interact with Parliament beyond political affiliations. It improves civic education by clarifying the constitutional mandate of MPs and managing public expectations. It also builds institutional trust by ensuring that Parliament is visible, accessible, and responsible throughout the country. Right Honorable Speaker, here is the commitment of the minority. We stand firmly in support of this initiative because this initiative, in our view, strengthens Parliament, and it must not be taken as a partisan endeavor. We see it as a constitutional responsibility you have embarked upon. I will, therefore, in closing, say to you, Mr. Speaker, God bless you for this initiative. Your country, Ghana, appreciates your efforts. Indeed, you've demonstrated institutional memory enhances constitutional development. We commend you for championing this initiative and for providing a platform and many other platforms that invites an opportunity for national reflection. And on behalf of the caucus I lead, let me also thank all stakeholders, the respected professors who are here, for contributing to this important dialogue, not the least Star Ghana for always creating the opportunity for a platform like this. May our deliberations generate concrete recommendations on constitutional reform, procedural innovation, digital engagement, and citizen participation strategies that inform future legislative decisions. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. Thank you for your kind audience.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader. I must tell you that after the presentations, we would have a panel discussion on how we can truly take Parliament to the people. And we'll have representatives from academia, we'll have civil society, subject matter experts, so you do not want to miss that part as well. And more importantly, we'll have an open forum, and the Right Honourable Speaker would love to hear, in fact, he wants to hear your views, your perspectives on how he can truly, or we can truly take Parliament to the people. So you ought to participate in that. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Executive Director, Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman. Shall we see you, Dr. Rashid Rahman? Thank you. We also have in our midst Mr. Smile Kwaukume from the World Bank. Mr. Kwaukume. We also have Honorable Davis Opoku-Ansah, MP for Mpraiso. The Mpraiso MP, OPK. We have the MP for Equiapim South, Honorable Laurentia Jiwono. Shall we see you, Madam? Thank you. We have the MP for Amenfi Central, Honorable Joanna Jan Kujo. And I must introduce you once again, Dr. Mrs. Gloria Saku Kwaukume, Deputy Clerk for Corporate and Financial Management Services of the Parliamentary Services. It's worth doing it twice. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring on stage, or to the podium, I must say, the Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable George Kweku Ricketts Hagan, for your remarks as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him.
Good morning. I read these remarks on behalf of the Majority Leader, Honorable Mahama Ayeraga, who is actually not in the jurisdiction. Right Honorable Speaker, Clerk of Parliament, Minority Leader Osahini, Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, other distinguished Ministers of State present, my colleagues, members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of the judiciary and local government institutions, our revered traditional rulers and religious leaders, Nime Name, our development partners, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege and a joy to welcome distinguished ladies and gentlemen to this Speaker's Breakfast Forum. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to join us for this significant gathering, which highlights our collective dedication to enhancing parliamentary democracy and promoting inclusive governance in our nation. Over the years, the Speaker's Breakfast Forum has evolved
The plan is not to leave anyone behind in the country, education-wise. However, Rejoice and her two other colleagues already feel left out. For tete-a-tete with her peers, sharing how their parents are able to provide sanitary pads for use in their monthly period is silently dampening her confidence. In her case, she once had to use her school socks in an emergency situation as an alternative.
The first day I had my menstruation was in school. It was flowing very heavy. So I even changed, I removed all myself and I used the socks without any underwear.
At what age did you start menstruating?
At the age of 12 years.
At the age of 12. How have you been able to manage so far?
I've tried, but I'm afraid to have tried a lot, and I'll not stop mentioning her name.
Who is Madam Efri? One of your teachers?
Yes, please. She was the first person who let me know how to use pad, of course. And even when she gave me the pad, I couldn't know how to use it. I only open it and put it there. I didn't know you have to remove something for the sticker and those things. So later on, it was in class, they were teaching that, and I knew that all those I put there was rubbish, but the main thing is the white thing inside.
She couldn't hide her sorrow of how that affected her time in class.
Yeah, I think last time I was in class with my friends, and one soiled herself. So she went to the bag and took sanitary pad. So I was just looking at her. I said, "What is that she's holding?" And she was like, "Hey, go see your crasini, papa." And I said, "Oh." So I left it there because I have never experienced it before. So anytime they meet and they are talking about, even when I'm there and they are talking about those things, I try to stay away because I don't want them to say something that will hurt me or something like that. So I stay away from them when they are saying such things. My mom is working by, the work is not that big or that heavy to take care of my sanitary pad every month. So it's either I use rag or tissue. Sometimes too, I use my sauce. When I come to school, I use my sauce for that. And it hurts me a lot.
For Blessing, after being shamed for soiling her school uniform with blood by her peers, she has advised herself not to stand up to answer questions in class whenever she is on her time of the month.
When I use the tissue, when lessons are going on, I feel some pains, and then I even feel that I'm having heavy flow. So how to stand up and then answer a question in his class is very difficult for me. I started menstruation when I was 11 years old. And when I started, I saw something like a brownish liquid coming out from me, and then I informed my mother. My mother told me that I'm getting to my menses, so I should protect myself from boys. I should not be too close to boys who are especially the bad boys. And then, so I made myself known that through this I can get pregnant. So I managed to accept what my mother said.
Coming from a family of 8 with 5 siblings, Blessing sees the burden on her parents and wouldn't want to compound the already dire situation of her seamstress mother and electrician father whose job isn't too lucrative today. For that, she sometimes go hungry by saving her feeding and classes fee of 3 cedis a day until it accumulates the price of a sanitary pad of between 18 and 25 cedis to buy one for use.
At times I use them cloth and then the tissue. Once my mother bought a tissue, a pad, and I used the pad. It was 1 pack. I used the pack, and then I felt like it's good, it's okay. But it reached a time that before I'll get a pad, I have to contribute to my feeding fee. I have to put my feeding fee down for some days before I'll be able to buy some pad before I'll use. So at times it even makes me absent from school, and then I'm embarrassed when especially talking to my friends in school. So I do feel bad in something like that.
So does it mean that saving your feeding fee, you don't eat in school when you come, just that you'll be able to buy a pad?
Yes, please. I don't eat. I manage to be quiet, and then I don't tell anyone about it.
Gifty, who is aspiring to become a nurse's story, is no different. Her parents simply cannot afford the
My mom
products.
don't have much money to buy pads, so she said I should manage the clothes or the tea when I'm having my menstruations. So when I grow or I reach 16 years or something, she can get money to buy pad for me. But now she doesn't have some.
Her mom says the means to acquire sanitary pad for her daughter every now and then is a challenge.
Use no ma for he because obenye ke ma yin fun da no loko pi o ma for fine o kan pun o je o ka wo o pant bagim dika benina isane pad ni ma use sene no ko bio ska ko bio chapida le benina lo ne hane ibamjane
Kapega no kale kan give si boni we say ni am ke
Jamali gone ya no ne den ke ma no ko ngebe ngehe ni de ke ko yegbe se eno na cheke mensi sone ni chonle benepele ya o pado because ekwani biska ne make he pad hale lo chonle pado ni chole tea room because esube ko mi wa skaben make pad lo chole ka tea room e pie keke ne ke fun e panto mi jampe
you e chonya kan ke jelosio be ko ne use o tiru alo ma use bo taku be ne woni koto mama chonwo ne wa use on lo hun chonwo
e chon chwepe be ma pe ne ko use no ma for he because obenye ke ma yin fun da no lo ko pi o ma for fine o kan pun o je o ka wo o pant bagim
e chonya kan le no he job enye we ne kan e ma pe active in school open na ka ke ko egbe kan e ma jesi e ma no sin lo e ke sin la jama niome
ke pe diomi ne ni no o mana ka ke use pad lo pampers no lo ho e nice because e je omo ke li no he ha o ngeska no he ha na use o enyenye mi o na ko use no ha o na difference.
The inadequate access to menstrual hygiene information, products and toilets is termed period poverty.
Menstruation happens to only female children. As we grow, a lot of changes takes place in our body. And before menstruation starts, you have to get to a stage which is known as puberty. Okay? During this stage, a lot of changes take place in you. Some are physical, some are emotional, and other types. Among the physical changes, you know some of them. We have the development of the breast, the widening of the hips, the softening of the voice, just to mention but a few. Some of you have started it. It's manifesting in some of you. Am I right? Now, another thing that comes under that stage is menstruation. And we have what we call menarche. To calculate your menstrual cycle, you need a calendar, which I'm holding. Okay? Now, let's use the 28 days. The menstrual cycle is the first day you see blood in your vagina. So the first day you see blood is day 1. Okay? If you are here, you will notice that, so let's mark it here, we are in May, right? And you see that first is marked as red. If you are within there, you realize that on the 28th of May, another blood will come. Okay? Now, during the flow, we have different days of flow for different individuals. The days of flow is between 3 to 7 days. Okay? Any menstrual flow that is less than 3 days is not healthy. You need to see a doctor. And anyone that goes beyond 7 days too is not healthy. A lot of factors can lead to some of these things. We will come there during the talk. Okay.
In the Menstrual Hygiene Week, with May 28 as Menstrual Hygiene Day, campaigners are drumming home the need to scrap the taxes on sanitary products in Ghana and promoting good menstrual hygiene management.
I'm appealing to the government to reduce the taxes on sanitary pads or take them off entirely so that most of the girls in basic schools, especially those who are not staying with their parents, can afford one each and every month.
In the eyes of authorities, it is a luxury product, hence imposing fines on it. But to another, the user, it's a necessity. In today's world, some adolescent schoolgirls are still struggling to regularly put resources together to acquire the products to keep their dignity and safety every month for their cycle.
So Dojowa is
in the Eastern region, part of Accra, part of Eastern region. And prior studies that we did, we found out that adolescent girls in Eastern region actually have sex because of the inability to buy sanitary pads. They have sex just to get 20 cedis to buy a pad. So we realized, then it means that the period poverty rate in Eastern region is higher than some of the regions.
Some young girls shared their story of how living without this product, the sanitary pad, is affecting the confidence and empowerment as a girl child.
The rag is not that much safe when you are using it, because sometimes when you don't put it well, it can fall and it can even move from where it's supposed to be. So I don't like.
And then the tissue, how do you use it?
I use the tissue, so I roll it on my hand, then I put it there. Sometimes before I take it, you see that it has spread. Yeah, so, and when you are bathing and you are washing too, you see them particles outside.
When I use the tissue and I sit down on chair, when I get up, my elder sister will tell me my dress is not good. So when I look at my back, my dress is filled with blood. So I go home to change. When it's evening, maybe it does me afternoon. So when it's evening, I'll bath again and use the cloth. Evening. When I get up morning, then I'll wash the cloth and I'll hang it on the sun so that the next day I'll use it again.
Amid growing calls for taxes on sanitary products to be scrapped to make them more affordable, especially for the needy, the Ghana Revenue Authority says only an amendment of the law by Parliament can remove the taxes on sanitary hygiene products in the country. According to them, GRA is only implementing the VAT Act, which is the law that determines which goods should or should not be taxable.
Conversations about sanitary pads attracting taxes and suggestions that perhaps we should consider taking it off the list. And that's why I ask you, how do you go through the process of removing an item, a taxable item from the list? Anita, would you like to add something?
So as my colleague said, it's in the Act. So for it to be taken out, it has to go through Parliament for there to be an amendment indicating that this item is now an exempt item. Until that is done, it's not within our power to take it out. This has the backing of the law. So since it's a legal issue, it has to go through Parliament for an amendment. And for it to be included in the list of exempt items.
Because I'm seeing from what you mentioned, the exempted items, machinery for the mines, fuel exempt, so petrol and diesel exempt. Anything that's for government use is exempted. The stuff that's heading towards the free zones are exempted, and those that are in transit are also some of the things that are exempted from VAT. But sanitary towels are still on the list as taxable goods. And so parliamentary intervention is needed. GRA cannot be amended.
GRA is an implementer of the law. We implement the law as they do the law for us. We implement it. So whatever is in the Act, that's what we follow and use to work.
According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, menstrual hygiene products such as sanitary pads or tampons are classified under finished goods or final consumer goods. As a result, they carry a 20% import tax. Products that are otherwise classified as essential social goods are taxed at 0 rate. Not only is there an import tax on sanitary products, but they also carry an additional value-added tax of between 12.5 to 15%. Recently, some Ghanaian activists embarked on a route march to Parliament to present a petition to the leadership of Parliament labelled "Don't Tax My Period." The group said the struggle to afford menstrual products and the increased economic vulnerability menstruating people face due to the financial burden posed by menstrual supplies are very real. They said Ghana's latest population census shows that women are 51% of the population, so there is a real opportunity to address gender equality.
Women don't stop bleeding because you are going to have production. So if it's in 2 years, women will still bleed on every day. So we are saying that, yes, work towards the local production, but remove the taxes so people can have a dignified period now and not in 2 years or 1 month or so. It should be now, because every day, each and every day, a girl or a woman menstruates.
In response, the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin, decried the imposition of taxes on sanitary products in the country. Expressing his displeasure, Mr. Bagbin emphasized the need for immediate government action to scrap off the taxes.
I just had to suspend the House because we had a group picketing outside, and I invited the leadership, and the issue they raised was a very serious issue. My attention was drawn to it already. Why should we, as members, honorable member, why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? This is unconscionable. It's a cardinal sin. The House shouldn't have allowed it at all. This House shouldn't have allowed it. You know the impact of that law on the human resource development and on the development of this country. It's immeasurable. That is why I suspended sitting and had to attend to them. I have a copy of the petition, and we have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister proposing that thing to take it off. The next budget, it must not appear, it cannot be a tax. Please, I take a very serious view on this matter. It was even raised at a forum in Tamale.
But the Association of Ghana Industries thinks otherwise. The AGI, rather, urged government not to remove import duties on sanitary pads, since it will lead to the collapse of local companies which manufacture sanitary products. The chief executive of AGI, Mr. Seth Chuma-Kwabwa, says government should rather support local manufacturers, including Fatex, which is now operating at below 30% capacity.
Today, most of the companies that are producing this sanitary pads, they are struggling. They are struggling because of the unfair competition. Some of these products are smuggled in, the quality is not so good, and the price is already quite low. So if you remove the import duties, we are virtually collapsing the local industries. Indeed, one of the major producers, which everybody knows, I don't want to be mentioning their name as if I'm doing advert for them, but I mean everybody knows Fatex, for example, the company that they are producing below 30% capacity. So that makes it a very, very difficult situation for them. And you need to pep up such companies to increase production volumes and then employ our people. If you call for a reduction or a removal of import duties on the imported products, what it means is that you're actually killing these companies completely.
Pad the Girl Project is an initiative of MYO Global with the aim of raising awareness on menstrual hygiene, improve access to supplies, and break the misconception, especially in rural areas and among vulnerable people. The group has made a presentation to Rejoice and about 200 of her peers at the Dodowa Presby Basic School with some sanitary products to empower and keep them constantly in school.
This will go a long way in helping the child to appreciate menstruation and see it as a natural phenomenon and not a canker, and also to build self-confidence in the classrooms and outside the classrooms. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask for more.
Pad the Girl Project is mainly focusing on UN SDG Goal 3, which seeks to attain good health and well-being. We have undertaken this initiative to donate sanitary pads to the girls with the aim of zeroing period poverty rate in Ghana, and also to make menstruation a normal fact of life by the year 2030 by giving them good menstrual health and hygiene education.
Of the pants, that is one. And you do same to the other parts, okay? Nicely. And let it flap. Let it be on top of the other one at the back, okay? We are going to assume this is our blood. This is actually so blue. for the purpose of this reading. It's not blood. So, you realize that as the blood is dropping into the pad is soaking it. Do you see? Can you see that? Yes. Can you see?
Almost every woman in her reproductive years experiences a monthly cycle, and MYO Global has adopted a school to provide the girls with the products every month. With the 2023 day running on the theme, Making Menstruation a Normal Fact of Life by 2030, Rejoice and her peers are assured of a normal life when in their period, as long as the philanthropist keeps providing them with the sanitary pad. Clara Mlano, GBC News, Dodua.
African leaders at the recently concluded 39th African Union Summit hailed China's landmark zero tariff policy for 53 partner nations as a win-win situation that could accelerate continental trade and development. Chinese President Xi Jinping sent a congratulatory message to the summit in which Xi announced that China will fully implement zero tariff treatment for 53 African countries having diplomatic relations with China starting from May 1, 2026. He also highlighted efforts to upgrade the Green Channel for African exports. The announcement drew strong endorsement from senior AU representatives who underscored China's role as Africa's largest investor and critical trade partner. Other voices at the summit stressed the broader significance of China's engagement with Africa, pointing to its role in infrastructure and the Belt and Road Initiative. The 39th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State of Government of the African Union opened Saturday at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. During the two-day summit, African leaders focused their discussions on pressing issues including peace and security challenges on the continent, the AU's international reforms, participation in the G20, and implementation of Agenda 2063 at an accelerated pace.
China's medical aid team to Zimbabwe has helped improve the local healthcare system by providing free medical services and professional training for medical staff. Since 1985, China has dispatched 22 medical teams to Zimbabwe, providing sustained support to the country's healthcare sector. As part of the aid program, China's one provincial People's Hospital and Parianyatwa group of hospitals, Zimbabwe's largest public tertiary hospital, launched a pulmonary and critical care project during the COVID-19 pandemic to enhance treatment capacity for pulmonary illnesses. The project has improved respiratory and critical care medicine and enhanced pulmonary respiratory treatment at the hospital, benefiting more than 2,000 local patients since its launch in 2022. Tan Jianlong led the 21st Chinese medical aid team to Zimbabwe and completed his service in Harare last March. He returned to the Zimbabwean hospital this month as an expert to train local doctors. Tan said he feels proud to be part of the Chinese aid team helping patients in Zimbabwe. The aid project also serves as a clinical skill training platform to advance the expertise of local medical workers. Around 300 local medical staff have already received training at the Pulmonary and Critical Care Medicine Project. In addition to the treatment and training services at hospitals in Zimbabwe, the Chinese medical team also offers medical services to patients in remote areas of the South African country.
China Media Group unveiled its much-anticipated 2026 Spring Festival Gala on Monday, showcasing an unprecedented fusion of traditional culture and cutting-edge technologies and delivering stunning visual experiences to a vast global audience to usher in the Year of the Horse. The gala's horse-themed centerpiece with a programmable matrix installation featuring 8 galloping horses built with over 300 modular groups and 5,584 individually flipping units. Through precisely choreographed flipping combined with dynamic lighting effects, the horse motive installation generated various patterns and colorful reflections. Jiang Wu Hao, the gala's visual supervisor, explained the technical complexity behind the effect in CMG Studio 1, where the gala was broadcast. The hyper-realistic digital human technology was integrated into this year's gala for the first time, enabling resonance between digital figures and live performers. Artificial intelligence-generated content spatial expansion techniques were also employed to generate landscapes and changing seasons, creating visual experiences. Guo Li, the gala's director of visual presentation, highlighted the experimental nature of one segment titled He Hua Xin, or Ode to the Flower Deities. A landmark shopping and entertainment complex in New Jersey illuminated its signature Dream Wheel in red to celebrate the Chinese New Year, while a folk music concert in Brussels offered European audiences a festive showcase of Chinese culture over the weekend. Hundreds of invited guests gathered at the American Dream Meadowlands Mall, the largest shopping and entertainment center in the eastern United States, as the countdown began. Known as the Eye of New York, the towering observation wheel lit up in bright red, casting a festive glow across the complex. The ceremony at the shopping and entertainment complex in New Jersey was held on Sunday as communities welcomed the Chinese New Year, creating a vibrant holiday atmosphere and highlighting growing people-to-people exchanges between China and the United States. As Chinese New Year festivities unfolded, the 2026 Spring of Chinese Music concert was staged on Saturday at the Center for Fine Arts in Brussels, known as BOZA, one of the Belgian capital's most prominent cultural venues. Musicians from the Wuji Chinese Orchestra presented a program blending tradition and innovation, introducing European audiences to the depth and vitality of Chinese folk music. The concert opened the lively Spring Festival Overture and featured works combining Chinese and Western musical elements. A joint performance of horse racing by Chinese and Belgian musicians brought the evening to a rousing finale, drawing sustained applause. An artisan from the Bai ethnic minority group in southwest China's Yunnan province is working to preserve the centuries-old Xiama woodblock printing tradition during the ongoing Chinese New Year holiday season, sustaining a ritual craft long associated with prayers for protection and prosperity. In his workshop in the Dali Bai Autonomous Prefecture, Zhang Renhua selects pear wood, carves intricate patterns into printing blocks, and presses inked paper by hand to produce Xiama prints, religious images traditionally used in blessing ceremonies and ancestral rites. Xiama, sometimes known as paper horse, blends Bai mythology with traditional Chinese woodblock printing. Introduced to Dali from central China centuries ago, the crafts gradually became embedded in local customs. Xiama was brought here from central China in the early days. It settled and has been passed down ever since, Zhang said in the video. Recognized as a state-level inheritor of intangible cultural heritage, Zhang oversees every stage of production, from carving to final printing. Traditionally burned during rituals, Xiama prints depict protective deities and folk symbols, expressing hopes for favorable weather, safety, and good fortune in the year ahead. Originally featuring armored horse riding figures, from which its name is derived, Xiama evolved over time to include a broader range of folk deities as printing techniques developed.
Hamas on Monday accused Israel of committing a blatant violation of the agreed mechanisms for operating the Rafah crossing, which were stipulated in the ongoing ceasefire agreement. In a press statement, the movement said that despite the reopening of the crossing in both directions, Israel has violated its operational framework and carried out systematic abuses against Palestinians returning to Gaza, including physical and psychological mistreatment and harsh interrogation. According to Hamas, Israel has failed